My role is to really be a facilitator, to bring the different people from Fernwood together, so the different departments and the different aspects of the organization, and to collaborate with them on creating a vision of really understanding what they would like for the overall show, what types of experiences want, what type of aesthetics they want, what the goals are for the show, and importantly, what is the ideal visitor experience? This is really all about making people happy and have people enjoy this show. So we start working collaboratively by asking a lot of questions of Fernwood in terms of, again, like I said, the goals, the ideal visitor experience, and then start really thinking about what are some of the features they've seen elsewhere or thought of that have inspired them. And then, how do we take all that information and put it together into a framework that is an actual realizable space and features. And part of my role is to help transition and really take all the ideas, listen, compile them, and look for patterns of consistency, and then find ways to creatively express those ideas in the actual light show experiences themselves. Oh, that's an interesting question. I started with an undergraduate in horticulture and a master's in landscape architecture, and then started working with and for public gardens, botanical gardens, and arboretum throughout the country. Part of this, I have a longstanding relationship with the Atlanta Botanical Garden, and they decided to do a light show for the various reasons most gardens do a light show. In the winter, you're already paying for the electricity, you're paying for the heat, you're paying for the buildings to be open. You might as well find a way to make money while you're open in winter, since necessarily the garden isn't always going to be, specifically the plants, the draw for most people. So I'd worked with them on several other things. They asked me to collaborate with them and their exhibits manager and their CEO and their whole team on really envisioning what would a light show be for the Atlanta Botanical Garden. They realized it. It turned out to be an amazing installation of how the exhibits manager and the Atlanta Botanical Garden in-house team really made the show work. And it was a success, both in year one and then in year two, when the show essentially doubled. And I realized I was now doing light show design. And I had sworn I would never deal with Christmas related things ever again after one job I had where it was crazy Christmas discussions. And so I said, oh, that's fun. And then another garden contacted me, Cheekwood, and then another and another. And before I knew it, I designed up to 10 or 11 holiday light shows over the last 10 or 11 years. So it wasn't something I meant to get into, but it really is very related to garden design and master planning for garden spaces. It's just a layer you have to look at as part of the overall composition and experience of the garden. I guess, there's some elements that we're realizing are probably going to be in the show for a very long time and going to remain evergreen and not change. And some of those are my favorites. If you look at the whole show as an integrated spatial aesthetic experience, the tunnel, the long tunnel of light, is a real favorite of mine over by the Dovecote. It partly because it really immerses people, and it's a very long journey, and you can see the tunnel from a little bit in the distance. So it has this magical presence in the landscape, both as an object when you're looking toward it, but also when you're in it as, a way of really getting people close to the lights and feeling engulfed in light, which is, of course, really important in a holiday light show. The other thing is, last year we added the Arctic Alley, And I think that is going to be continue to be a favorite of mine, partly because it's a different color scheme and we use some different light technology products in that, which added a new kind of experience to the show overall. But I think really the whole show is what's exciting, how it all comes together as we build year to year on it, and how it just keeps getting better and better and better and more compelling every year we do something new. Well, this year we have a particularly exciting feature in the over the existing bridge at Fernwood. We're going to be creating a structure of light overhead to make it feel like a covered bridge. Visitors won't go all the way through the bridge, but they'll be able to stop, take their photographs, have a selfie moment in this overhead structure on the bridge. And really, we're looking forward in the planning for this feature because it eventually will be a major gateway to a part of the garden we haven't really used yet in the Holiday Light Show, but we will be moving into in the next few years, ideally. So I think that's going to be a memorable photo op and element in the show for sure. We're also looking at greatly uplighting the evergreens along the entry road. So as people enter, what Fernwood wanted was to really give visitors a taste of the show on their way in, since the entry drive is slightly longish, and in terms of duration, really welcome people immediately into this feeling of magic and enchantment and light playing off of and playing with plants. So the new entry experience should be rather dramatic, and then the new covered bridge feature are two of the new elements that are particularly exciting. And then, of course, just putting all that together with the existing parts of the show will, I think, really help strengthen the overall experience.